Hello there, my name is Payal Naraine and welcome to this video series. यहाँ हम कवर कर रहे हैं पूनम दलाल दहिया की एंशिएंट एंड मेडिवल इंडिया की थर्ड एडिशन, जो कि लेटेस्ट एडिशन है। इस किताब को हम थ्रूली रीड करेंगे और जहाँ ज़रूरत पड़ेगी वहाँ हम साथ ही साथ यूपीएससी एंड स्टेट सर्विसेज में आए हुए प्रीवियस ईयर के क्वेश्चंस भी डिस्कस करेंगे। एंड इस सीरीज़ में वीडियोस लगभग 30 to 35 मिनट्स के होंगे, बड़े इफेक्टिव होंगे और हम ऑलमोस्ट 40 to 45 लेक्चर्स में ये पूरी किताब कवर करेंगे। और अगर आपने ये सीरीज़ 3 to 4 टाइम्स देख ली तो बिल्कुल ये किताब आपके दिमाग में छप जाएगी एंड ट्रस्ट मी, आपकी एक्यूरेसी भी काफ़ी इंक्रीज़ हो जाएगी। साथ ही साथ आपका रिवीजन भी काफ़ी आसान हो जाएगा। सो अगर आपको रिवीजन के साथ साथ वैल्यू एडिशन भी करना है तो ये सीरीज़ पूरी फॉलो करें। आपको बस आपके पास ये किताब रखकर मुझे सुनना है एंड मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स मार्क करने हैं। So without any further delay, let's get started. हेलो देयर, वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल घटना सूत्र। यहाँ हम कवर कर रहे हैं पूनम दलाल दहिया की एंशिएंट एंड मेडिवल इंडिया थर्ड एडिशन, जो कि लेटेस्ट एडिशन है। और हम आज शुरू कर रहे हैं दी गंगा / छोटा गंगाज ऑफ ओडिशा। राइट, सो लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड। द ईस्टर्न गंगा डायनेस्टी, पॉपुलरली नोन एज द छोटा गंगाज, वर द हिंदू डायनेस्टी. They reigned from the 11th century to the early 15th century at Kalinga, and their kingdom consisted of whole of the modern-day state of Odisha, as well as the part of West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Their capital was known by the name of Kalinganagara. Highlight the name of the capital of Choda Gangas. That was Kalinganagara, which is the modern Srimukhlingam in Srikakulam district of Andhra Pradesh, bordering Odisha. They are remembered as the builders of the Sun Temple of Konark, which is the UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is pertinent to note that the Kesaris, who used to rule Orissa before the Gangas, built the Lingaraja Temple of Bhubaneswar. So अब आप यहाँ पे हाईलाइट करिए कि कैपिटल्स क्या थे छोटा गंगास का। ठीक है, क्या नाम था उसका नाम था कलिंगनगरा। और सन टेम्पल एट कोनार्क, जो कि अभी यूनेस्को वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज साइट है, वाज बिल्ड बाय देम। ठीक है, और साथ ही जो गंगास के पहले रूल क्या करते थे ओडिशा को, दे बिल्ड लिंगराजा टेम्पल एट भुवनेश्वर एंड दे वर केसरीज. द डायनेस्टी was found by Anantavarman Chodaganga. The eastern Ganga ruler naturally carried South Indian culture to Odisha, as they hailed from the southern India and were matrimonially related to the Chola Empire and the eastern Chalukyas. Interestingly, their influence is very well reflected in their currency too. This kingdom prospered through trade and commerce and wealth, as wealth was mostly used in the construction of temples. Anantavarman Chodaganga, 1076 to 1150 CE, he assumed the title of Trikalingadipati in 1076 CE. This is the ruler of three Kalingas, which comprises of Kalinga proper south, Utkal north, and Kosal west, and probably was the first king to rule all three divisions of Kalinga. He was a religious person as well as a great patron of art and literature. He was credited for having built the famous Jagannath Temple of Puri in Odisha. So अगर आपको एग्जाम में ये क्वेश्चन मिलता है कि हु बिल्ड जगन्नाथ पुरी टेम्पल इन ओडिशा, दैट वुड बी अनंतवर्मन छोटागंगा. ठीक है. Narsimha Deva, 1238 to 1264 CE, another important king of this dynasty who constructed the Sun Temple of Konark, which is an UNESCO World Heritage Site. ठीक है. सो सन टेम्पल कौन से रूलर ने कंस्ट्रक्ट किया था? इट वॉज नरसिम्हा देवा ऑफ द गंगा डायनेस्टी, एज यू कैन सी हियर. In the early 15th century, the rule of the dynasty came to end under the reign of King Bhanudeva IV, 1414 to 1434 CE. After the decline of the early Eastern Ganga's reign, the Chalukyas of Vengi took control over the region. Western Chalukyas of Kalyani, or later Western Chalukyas. The Chalukyas, who ruled from Kalyani, modern day Basavakalyan in Karnataka between the 10th and the 12th century CE are referred to as the later Western Chalukyas. Please refer to the earliest chapter for the discussion of Chalukyas of Badamis. Their kingdom included most of western Deccan and southern India. As you may recall that prior to the rise of Chalukyas of Kalyani, most of the Deccan and the central India was controlled by the Rashtrakuta empires of Manyakhed for over 2 centuries. But subsequently, in 973 CE, following an invasion of Manyakhed by the Parmaras of Malwa and taking advantage of the confusion caused by the Rashtrakutas, ranked by the same feudatories of Rashtrakuta ruling from Bijapur region, Taila or Tailapa II defeated his overlords and made Manyakhed his capital. The dynasty expanded quickly and grew into an empire under Someshwara I, who moved the capital to Kalyani. Tailapa II, 957 to 997 CE, the founder of the later Western Chalukyas, who with the help of earlier Chalukyan family and with the help of the Kadambas, not only recovered much of the lost territories of the earlier Chalukyans but also consolidated his realm. Satyasraya, 997 to 1008 CE, Taila was succeeded by his son Satyasaraya, who defeated the Chola king Rajaraja, who had invaded Satyasaraya's region and thus conquered Rajaraja's territory. The successors of Satyasarya were respectively Dasavarman, Vikramaditya V and Jaisimha I, 1015 to 1042 CE. It is pertinent to note that Jaisimha's repelled invasions from the north as well as southern invasion from the Chola king Rajendra. Someshwara I, 1043 to 1068 CE, the son of Jaisimha who expelled Rajadiraj Chola. Some inscriptions state that he broke the line of succession of Rajendra Chola by killing him. According to tradition, it is believed that Someshwara I preferred his second and more able son Vikramaditya as his successor, but the latter declined the honor in favor of the elder son Someshwara II, 1068 to 1076 CE, and as a general for his brother's army, Vikramaditya conquered the Cholas, Kerala and Ceylon. However, Someshwara II soon fell into a bad ways and thus lost the loyalty of his brother, following which Vikramaditya started ruling the southern part of the kingdom independently. Vikramaditya VI, 1076 to 1126 CE, the greatest ruler of this dynasty, who earned the title of Premadideva and Tribhuvana Mala, meaning the Lord of the Three Worlds. Vikramaditya also received submission from the ruler of Konkan and soon marched against Veera Rajendra Chola. The latter pleaded for peace by offering his daughter's hand to Vikramaditya. When Veera Rajendra died, Vikramaditya placed his brother-in-law Adi Rajendra on the throne of the Cholas. After his brother-in-law was killed, Vikramaditya was defeated by the eastern Chalukyan king Jaisimha and was given the governorship of Bellary. However, in 1076 CE, Vikramaditya reclaimed his power with the aid of the Hoysalas and extended the throne. As Vikramaditya VI, he introduced Chalukya Vikram era in 1076 CE. So, किसने इंट्रोड्यूस किया था चालुक्यन विक्रम ईरा इन 1076 CE? इट वॉज विक्रमादित्य 6. ठीक है, तो आप ये अपनी बुक्स में भी हाईलाइट कर लीजिए. ड्यूरिंग द रूल ऑफ विक्रमादित्य 6, द वेस्टर्न चालुक्य convincingly contended with the Cholas. They ruled over territories that spread over most of the Deccans between the Narmada River in the north and the Kaveri River in the south. He had several queens who ably assisted him in his administration. The two great writers named Bilhana and Vijayeshwara flourished in the court of Vikramaditya VI. He was the hero of Bilhana's Vikraman Kadeva Charitra. Bilhanas came to his court from Kashmir and compared his rule to Ramarajya. Vijneshwara, the noted jurist in his court, wrote Mitakshara. So, जैसे मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया है, wherever you see the writer and the work done by the writer, ठीक है, आप उसको हाईलाइट कीजिए और साथ में राइटर का नाम भी हाईलाइट कीजिए, राइटर एंड जो उन राइटर ने काम किया है. ठीक है. A commentary on Yagnavalkya Smriti or on Hindi family law of the king, he wrote, a king like Vikrama is neither to be seen nor heard of. Vikramaditya VI was a Shiva by faith, and his rule saw prolific temple building activities. Notably, construction included Mallikarjuna temple, the Mahadev temple, and Kitabeshwara temple, and the Kaleshwara temple. So highlight the name of the temple built during Vikramaditya's reign. ठीक है? That is Mallikarjuna temple, Mahadev temple, Kitabeshwara temple, and Kaleshwara temple. ठीक है? The next successor, Someshwara III, was more interested in literary matters and thus could not stop Vishnuvardhana Hoysalas to grasp the opportunity to declare independence. The later ruler were not very capable either, and gradually the feudatories of Chalukya started declaring independence. However, for some brief time under the leadership of Someshwara IV, the son of Taila III, the Chalukyans were able to recover the territory. His suzerainty was acknowledged by many rulers such as the last Kalachuri ruler, Singhana, and the Kadambas of both Goa and Banavasi, and the Pandyas of Uchchangi. But with the attack from the Hoysalas under Veerabalal I and Yadavas of Devgiri, the later Western Chalukya's dynasty came to an end in about 1190 CE. Development in art and architecture and science and technology. The growth in scientific pursuit unfortunately slowed during this period. The growth of science and technology is linked with the growth of any society. However, as the society during this period became largely rigid and narrow in its outlook, scientific attitude could not develop as well, as noted by the Central Asian scientist and scholar Al-Bruni. The insular attitude of the educated, in particular the Brahmanas, led a tremendous lack in intercultural scientific learning and collaboration. Surgery declined, as the dissection of dead bodies was regarded as a fit only for people of low caste such as barbers. Astronomy was now enveloped by astrology. However, some advances were made in the field of mathematics in the 9th century. Ganita Sarasanghara of Mahaviracharya and the Leelavati of Bhaskara were written during this period, 1150 CE, which remained standard text for the long time. Bhaskara too, 1114 to 1185 CE, the greatest mathematician of medieval India and astronomer, was born in Bijapur in modern Karnataka. His main work, the Siddhanta Shiromani, Sanskrit for crown of treatise, is divided into 4 parts. Leelavati deals with arithmetic and covers calculation, progression, measurements, permutation, and other topics. Bijaganita deals with algebra, and under this section, Bhaskara discussed concepts such as zero, infinity, positive and negative numbers, and indeterminate equation, including the now called Pell's equation. Grahagita deals with the mathematics of the planet, and while treating the motion of planet, he considered their instantaneous speed and also arrived at an approximation. Bhaskara accurately defined many astronomical quantities, including, for example, the length of the sidereal years, the time that is required for Earth to orbit the Sun, as exactly 365.2588 days. Goladhyas deals with mathematics of the sphere. He also wrote another treatise named as Karan Kautuhal. Bhaskara's work on calculus predates Newton's and Leibniz by over half a millennium. He was perhaps the first to convince the differential coefficient and differential calculus and its application to astronomical problems and computation. So, आप यहाँ पे ध्यान दीजिएगा. As we have discussed Siddhanta Shiromani, right? As we are reading this, ठीक है? To highlight the names and the work done by Bhaskara. In the field of medicine, certain minerals like mercury were discovered. Many books were written on plant science and for the treatment of animals, but not much research was done on the interbreeding of horses, and this further resulted in the perennial dependence of Indians on import of horses from Central Asia. The system of education, which had gradually developed into the earlier period, continued without much change. The concept of mass education did not exist. Reading and writing was confined to a small section of Brahmanas and the upper caste. The main subject taught were the branches of Vedas and grammar. Education of more formal kind, with a greater emphasis on secular subject, continued to be provided at some Buddhist viharas such as Nalanda, Vikramshila, and Udantapura monasteries of Bihar. Kashmir was another prominent centers of education, and many Shiva sect and center of learning flourished during this period. A number of important math education centers were set up at Madurai and Sirangri in South India. The various centers of education provided an impetus to discussion on religion and philosophy. Religious movements and beliefs and development in philosophy. This period is marked by the revival and expansion of Hinduism and continued decline of Buddhism and Jainism. Apart from the intellectual challenges posed to Buddhism and Jainism by the revived Hinduism, at certain occasions there were instances of violence and forcible occupation of their sacred places as well. Buddhism was merely confined to the eastern India, specially patronized by the Palas. However, Buddhism during this reign assumed forms which made it indistinguishable from Hinduism. Jainism continued to be popular, especially among the trading communities. The Chalukyan rulers of Gujarat patronized Jainism, and it was during this time that the famous and magnificent Dilwara temple of Mount Abu were built. The revival and expansion of Hinduism took many forms. Shiva and Vishnu became the chief god, and magnificent temples were built to proclaim their supremacy. This also ushered an era of cultural synthesis. A typical and important characteristic of this period was the growth of the Bhakti movement in South India, which was led by the popular saint of Nainaras, worshippers of Shiva, and Alvars, worshippers of Vishnu. In Alvar Bhakti, the relationship between the devotee and Krishna was often expressed in terms of lover-beloved or mother-child relationship. Whereas in Nainara's Bhakti, the relationship between the god and the devotee was similar to between the master and slave. Thus, Nainaras described themselves as Atiyar, servants. From the 7th century onwards, the cult of Bhakti began to dominate the religious life of the South Indians, and these saints played a major role in propagating it. The word Bhakti comes from the root Bhaj, which means to share or participate. Thus, the word Bhakta implies one who shared or participated in the divine. The saint rejected austerities and spoke and wrote in local languages, such as Tamil and Telugu, which has not only made them popular but also allowed common people to join the Bhakti movement. They looked upon religion not as a matter of cold formal worship but based on living bonds with the god and the worshippers. The saints were from place to place carrying their messages of love and devotion. They belonged to both upper caste and lower caste and also included women saints. Even though they disregarded the inequalities of caste, they did not oppose the caste system as such. The Bhakti movement, apart from bringing over many Buddhists and Jains into the Hindu fold, won over many tribals as well. Another popular movement which arose during the 12th century was the Lingayat or Virishaiva movement. Its founder was Basava and his nephew Channabasava, who lived in the court of Kalachuri king of Karnataka. The Lingayats were worshippers of Shiva and established their faith after bitter dispute with the Jainas. They strongly opposed the caste system and child marriage and rejected feast, fast, pilgrims and sacrifice. They supported widow remarriages. It is pertinent to mention the Siddhas or Sitars of Tamil Nadu who held contrasting views with the Bhakti tradition, although some of their ideologies are considered to have originated during the first Sangam age. Their attitude against idol worship and their stress on yoga and right conduct distinguished them from the Bhakti cults. They believed that in oneness of the transcending being, monotheism in the world as well as the charity towards men. The Siddha saints were mostly Shaivas who preferred and practiced an unorthodox type of sadhana, spiritual practice to attain liberation. The Siddhas obtains yogic power called Siddhi by constant practice of certain yogic discipline and tapasya. Although with that, they also use rasayana, which were substances that were said to transform the body to make it potentially deathless, and a particular type of pranayama, breathing practice. The Siddhas are also believed to be the founders of Varmam. a kind of martial arts for self-defense and medical treatment. Simultaneously, Varmam are specific points located in a human body, which when pressed in different way can give various results, such as disabling an attacker in self-defense or balancing a physical condition as easy first aid medical treatment. The Tamil Siddhas were the first to develop Nadi Parathathal pulse reading to identify the origin of disease. It is believed that this method was later adopted and used in Ayurveda. In the period that the Bhakti movement was gaining popularity in South India, Tantra was gaining traction in North India. They too denounced the caste system and the privilege claimed by the Brahmanas. Tantra, like Bhakti, was open to all. The most famous Hindu yogi who adopted these practice was Gorakhnath, and his followers came to be called as Nath Panthis. So गोरखनाथ के followers को हम क्या कहते हैं? We call them Nath Panthis. ठीक है? So highlight this. Many schools of philosophy came into existence in this period. Moksha, salvation, became the main subject of the Darshana school. Hindu philosophy in general classified into 6 orthodox or classical school, Astika, and 3 heterodox, Nastika school. The basic difference between the two branches of philosophy school is based on the recognition of Vedas. The orthodox school recognize the authority of the Vedas, while the heterodox school do not believe in the authority of Vedas. Out of these 9 systems, 8 are atheistic as there is no place for God in them. Only the Uttara Mimamsa, which is also called as Vedanta, has a place for God in it. By the beginning of Christian era, 6 prominent schools of philosophy, Satyadarshana, developed, which are Samkhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshik, Purva Mimamsa and Uttara Mimamsa, that is Vedanta. School of philosophy, Samkhya. And before we start that, आप ये संख्या के टॉपिक को डबल स्टामा कर लीजिए, क्योंकि इसके ऊपर सवाल यूपीपीसीएस में इसके ऊपर सवाल यूपीएससी में 2013 में आया था और छत्तीसगढ़ पीसीएस में 2020 में आया था. सो लाइक डबल स्टार मार्क दिस, ट्रिपल स्टार मार्क दिस टॉपिक. ठीक है. Samkhya literally means count. Oldest school of philosophy founded by Kapila. So who founded Samkhya? It was founded by Kapila. Samkhya is strongly dualist as its philosophy regard the universe as containing 2 realities, Purusha, consciousness, and Prakriti, matter, which is further composed of 3 basic gunas, elements, namely Tamas, Rajas and Sattva. Purusha cannot be modified or changed, while Prakriti brings change in all objects. According to the school, a person can attain salvation through the acquisition of real knowledge, and his participation in the life cycle can be ended forever. This knowledge can be acquired through pratyaksha, perception, anumanya, inference, and shabda, hearing. Emphasize that it is self-knowledge that leads to liberation and not any exterior influence or agent. Self-knowledge can be attained by the means of concentration and meditation. Samkhya forms the philosophical basis of yoga. In Samkhya, the necessity of God is not felt for epistemological clarity about the interrelationship between the higher self, individual self, and the universe around us. According to this philosophy, the presence of divine energy is not essential for the creation of the world, as the world owes its creation and evolution more to the nature of Prakriti than to God. Yoga. And before we start with this yoga thing, ठीक है, आप इस टॉपिक को ट्रिपल स्टार मार्क कर लीजिए, क्योंकि इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन उत्तराखंड UDA/LDA की एग्जाम में 2007 में पूछा गया था, साथ ही छत्तीसगढ़ पीसीएस में 2013 में एंड यूपी पीसीएस में मल्टीपल ईयर्स में लाइक 2002, 2007, राइट. So let's get started. Yoga. The yoga school was founded by Patanjali, which presents a practical path for the realization of the self based on the method of physics and mental discipline by releasing Purusha and Prakriti. Practice of control over pleasure, sense, and bodily organs is central theme of this school. In order to attain salvation, physical exercise in various asanas, postures, and pranayamas, breathing exercise, are prescribed. It is believed that through these exercises, the minds get diverted from worldly matters and achieve concentration. Yoga describes energy flowing through energy channel and concentration in chakras. Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga is about creating a body which is not a hurdle in one's life. The body becomes stepping stones, not a hurdle, not a roadblock in one's progress. Raja Yoga. Classical yoga and Ashtanga Yoga is a form of meditation which enriches the mind, wherein it is trained to stay focused at one point. It aims at the calming of the mind using a succession of steps, ultimately culminating in samadhi. Yoga doesn't require belief in God, although such beliefs is accepted as help in initial stage of mental concentration and control of mind. It does admit the existence of God as a teacher and guide. न्याय. सो आप न्याय वाले टॉपिक को भी डबल स्टार मार्क कर लीजिए, क्योंकि मल्टीपल स्टेट सर्विसेज में मल्टीपल ईयर्स में पूछा गया था. जैसे कि यूपीपीसीएस में हाल ही में 2023 में इसके ऊपर सवाल आया था, 2005 में आया था, साथ ही उत्तराखंड पीसीएस में 2016 में आया था एंड छत्तीसगढ़ पीसीएस में 2018 में आया था. न्याय, also known as the school of analysis, which developed as a system of logic by Gautama. It is principle as mentioned in Nyaya Sutras. Nyaya philosophy believed that the supremacy of logic and adopts a scientific approach, as it holds that nothing is acceptable unless it is in accordance with the reason and experience. Nyaya states that the world is real and the philosophy does not follow a monoist view. The school advocates that theory of pramanas, proofs, which are the means of obtaining true knowledge. According to it, the pradhan parmana or principal means of obtaining knowledge is pratyaksha parmana, knowledge obtaining through the five senses. There are also the other pramanas like anumana, inference, through which we can obtain true knowledge, and shabda pramana, a statement of an expert. Many later philosophers claim to belong to this school. For instance, Vatsyayana, who wrote Nyaya Bhashya, Udayan, who wrote Kusumanjali, and so on. वैशिष्का. अब इसके ऊपर सवाल बीपीएससी में 2020 में आया था, ठीक है. सो स्टार मार्क दिस टॉपिक. This school, propounded by Kannada, gives importance to the discussion of dravya or material element. This school propounds the atomic theory and can be marked as the beginning of the physics in ancient India. Earth, water, fire, air and ether, sky are the aggregate which combines give rise to the new objects. It signifies a realistic and objective way of looking at the universe. मीमांसा. आप डबल स्टार मार्क कर लीजिए मीमांसा वाले टॉपिक को भी, क्योंकि ये यूपी बीईओ की एग्ज़ाम में 2019 में इसके ऊपर सवाल पूछा गया था एंड साथ ही छत्तीसगढ़ पीसीएस में 2018 में इसके ऊपर सवाल पूछा गया था. मीमांसा, also called as Purva Mimamsa, which literally signifies the art of reasoning and interpretation. According to Mimamsa, the Vedas containing the eternal truth, in order to attain salvation, it strongly recommends the performance of yajna, Vedic sacrifice, which need the service of the priest and legitimize the social distance between the different varnas. This philosophy relies on Brahmanas and the Samhitas of the Vedas. It is often argued that Brahmanas wanted to maintain the ritual authority and preserve social hierarchy through the propagation of Mimamsa. वेदांता. वेदांता के टॉपिक को भी सिंगल स्टार मार्क कर लीजिए, क्योंकि यूपी बीईओ की एग्ज़ाम में 2019 में इसके ऊपर सवाल आया था, ठीक है. यूजुअली इन टॉपिक्स के ऊपर आपको मैच द पेयर आ सकता है कि जो भी फिलोसॉफी है, हु वाज द फाउंडर और हु वाज द ओरिजिनेटर ऑफ दैट फिलोसॉफी, ठीक है. सो उनका भी नाम आप याद रखिएगा, ओके. Vedanta, also known as Uttara Mimamsa. Vedanta signifies the end of Vedas. The Brahmaputra of Badrayana, compiled in the 2nd century BCE, formed its basic text. According to Vedanta, the world of Maya illusion and there is only one reality, Brahman. Therefore, it lays emphasis on Brahmagyan and relies on the Upanishads, while Purana Mimamsa discuss the fire sacrifice of the Vedic rituals in the Samhitas and the Brahmanas. Vedantas throw light on the historic teaching of the Aryankas, the forest scriptures and the Upanishads. Vedanta has its root in Samkhya philosophy. The self or the Atma is identical with Brahmanas, and hence, if a person acquires the knowledge of self, he acquires the knowledge of Brahmana and thus attains salvation. Both Brahmana and Atma are eternal and indestructible. The theory of karma is closely linked with Vedanta philosophy, which signifies that in his present birth, a person has to bear the consequences of his action performed in his previous births. The core message of Vedanta is that every action must be governed by the discriminating faculty that is the intellect. The mind can make mistakes, but the intellect let us know if the action is in our interest or not. The main tradition of Vedantas are Bheda, difference and non-difference by Nimbarkar, Advaita, non-dualism by Adi Shankaracharya. अब हम मेन ट्रेडिशंस ऑफ वेदांता डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, तो इसके ऊपर जो भी स्पेसिफिक ट्रेडिशन है एंड हु गेव दोज ट्रेडिशंस, ठीक है, आपको उनका नाम भी याद रखना होगा. जैसे भेदा वॉज गिवन बाय निम्बारकरा, अद्वैता वॉज गिवन बाय आदि शंकराचार्य. उसी तरह विशिष्टाद्वैता क्वालिफाइज अ नॉन ड्यूअलिज्म बाय नाथ मुनि, यमुना एंड रामानुज. तत्ववादा द्वैता और ड्यूअलिज्म बाय माधवाचार्य. शुद्धाद्वैता प्योर नॉन ड्यूअलिज्म बाय वल्लभा. अचिंत्य भेदा अभेदा इनकन्विंसिबल डिफरेंस एंड नॉन डिफरेंसेस बाय चैतन्य महाप्रभु. हाईलाइट दिस राइट एंड स्टार मार्क दिस, क्योंकि इसके ऊपर सवाल आने की प्रोबेबिलिटी इज हायर मैच द पेयर्स में. So that's all for the day, and in the next lecture we'll start with some of the prominent sub branches of Vedantas, right? So keep on watching Ghatna Sutra. See you next time.